So the first thing I'm going to do today is just show you how to get to those resources online. Everybody should see my login page, which is pretty similar to yours. And this is the way I would recommend that you connect to the library, because it will recognize that you're a student and that you have access to all of our resources. So you won't get any funny messages when you try to click on an article that says you're not logged in or you need to pick an institution. So this is just the easiest way to do that. Now, once you're here, there are several ways to research information. You could use this research portal here to search our entire collection at once, and you can see that it can be narrowed down here by resources. But I'm not going to focus on this part today. What I want to focus on is actually the databases at the top. The databases are really good if you're doing a more targeted search, and in business, you usually are doing a more targeted search for information. So I feel like the databases are the best place to go for most things that you're looking for. You'll see that we have databases categorized A to Z or by subject area. If you know which database you're looking for by name, then A to Z is the easiest way to do that. If you're not that familiar with the databases, I recommend you go in by subject first. And then from this drop-down box here, you can see we have a business category. We're going to hit go. And then we have 42 databases filed under the business category. That doesn't mean that we don't have more. These are just the 42 that were selected and recommended to get you started. So you could potentially find more in that A to Z list as well. You'll also notice that there are other tabs here alongside the databases. I'm just going to point out this one, the guides. And what these are, they are kind of like websites that the librarians have put together to guide you along the research process. And we have one here for the College of Business that I highly recommend you look at. So I'm going to take just a minute here to show you. So you can see there are some different categories here. We'll focus on leadership for this course. And then we just post some information on here again to get you started with this research topic. So you'll see we connect you to leadership articles in Harvard Business School and Business Review. So I'm just going to open those up real quick and show you what those look like. So you can see there's lots of different articles and advice here on different topics. And again, this is selected for leadership right now, but you can certainly check out any of these other topics as well. This one is set to a Google search through leadership, and you'll notice we include this. Basically, when you put this in your search, it just tells the search to search this particular site. So if there's a different site that you wanted to search, you could always remove this and put your own site there. All right, now we're going to go back. So again, we're at the business guide. We also have links to leadership videos here if you want to check those out. We have suggestions for keywords over here on the right-hand side for different things that you could research. And then finally, we have some recommended websites here about leadership. So really great resource. Again, I highly recommend you take a look at this when you have time. In case you can't locate it again later, I'm just going to go ahead and put the link in the chat box for you. Okay, so that's there if you'd like to open it up and save it to your computer. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our databases. So here we were on the guides tab. I'm going to switch over again to the database tab. Now, we're not going to go through all 42 of these databases. They're all really good. They focus on different things. So I'm just going to point out a few of them to kind of get you started in your research process. Let's see. One of them, you can see we have the Harvard Business Journal here too. I did give you a link from the guide to get to these articles, but you can access them here as well. And the reason that I like to go to them here is because you have two different ways to search. You can click on this and search within the publication and type your keyword. So I'll show you what that looks like. It's not going to let me do that there. Let me try again. There we go. So it's already set to look for articles in the Harvard Business Review, and then you could just type whatever keyword you're looking for. So it could be leadership skills, management, human resources, any of those things, and it will pick up articles from that resource only. The other thing I like about this, if you don't want to search for keywords and you just want to browse issues, you have all the issues over here, so you can just expand those and click on a volume. And then it will give you all of the articles for that volume and that issue. Okay, so lots of different ways to explore that resource. And again, that's the Harvard Business Journal database. So if you haven't written that down, you may want to write that title down, Harvard Business Journal. Now, the second one that I want to show you, I don't know if anyone here is interested in entrepreneurship, but I think it's worth posting just because there's a lot of good resources on here, even if you're not going into entrepreneurship. Typically, this database focuses on how to plan, start, fund, and manage your business. So we'll kind of zero in on this managing topic for this course. You can see that they have a category here for managing your employees. So I'm going to open that. They give a nice little background article here. You can click read more. And then if you scroll down, they have all different kinds of sources down here, from videos to websites. Sometimes they'll have statistics, newspaper articles, academic journals. And they always start with the business plan section as well. So you can look at sample business plans in that topic. So lots of good information here. I'm going to go back to the main page of entrepreneurship. So all we did was we scrolled down to look for that category, but they also have several ways to search their information. Again, you have your search box here if you wanted to type in keywords, but I really like this button over here with the light bulb that says browse topics, and I'll show you why. So you have lots of different business topics here. Again, for the purpose of this course, we're just going to click on human resource management. And it's going to look very similar to what we just opened up for our other topic. You start with some business plans, and they have some recommended sources here. And then if we go back, we can click business types if you want to focus in on a particular type of business. We have a how-to section. So how to grow your business, how to write a business plan, all that good stuff. And then additional resources. I always like to point this out no matter what business class you're in, just because this toolkit I can't find really anywhere else. I think it's kind of specialized to this database. So you can see they have templates here for SWOT, business plans, and then they even have financial statements down here. So a lot of students find this helpful. All right, so I know that was very quick. I'm going to pause here just to see if you have any questions about the two databases that I already went over. Remember, we went to the Harvard Business Journal and Entrepreneurship. No questions?
If you guys are considering a business, those business plans are all sample business plans. So we have a big competition that comes up next spring, and that'll be around April, probably towards the end of March. Actually, you have to start prepping for it by the beginning of March. And being in the year up and being a student, you qualify for this business competition. And obviously next year it'll be bigger. I think we did like half virtual, half in person next year. So if you have an idea and you're starting to think about it this fall, that's where you want to be in those guides. You want to be in that guide, go to the entrepreneurship database, look at some business plans, and that will give you everything you need to, and if you're not going to enter the competition, just if you're going to start a business, this is a great tool, because we have we got some entrepreneurs in this group.
Yeah.
The question was, so on these business plans, are these like templates, or they're just like actual, just regular articles?
So there's both, actually. So when you go to this entrepreneurship site here, you're going to click on this browse topics, and then they have business types listed here. So let's say you want to start your own food truck business. You can select food truck here. And then the first thing that's going to pop up are sample business plans from that industry. So that's an actual business plan that you can look at and see what information they've included. Now, if you want a template, then you're going to go to the additional resources, and that's where they give you the business template over here. Okay. Good questions. Anybody else want to look at anything else you see here, have questions about before we move away from this database? No? Okay. So let's say you just want to look up some articles, just some general articles, maybe some data about a particular topic. The best database I can recommend for that is this Business Source Complete. So we're going to go ahead and open that one up. It's very simple, very plain. It looks just like the one we looked at earlier because it was coming from this database. They put in the Harvard Business Journal here to search that one specifically through this database. But like, let's say, I know one of the popular topics in business is leadership skills. So we can start typing our topic here, critical skills, and you can see suggestions pop up there in the search box, which is really helpful because it's showing you things that it already has categorized in its system, and it may show you something you didn't think of to search. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this critical skills leadership. And you have other options down here if you need to filter any of the articles you're looking for. I always click on full text, so it doesn't just show me the summary or the bibliography of an article. I get the full text. And then sometimes you might need to set a publication range. Maybe you only want things from the past 5 years, so it's more current. So this is a place you could do that. So we could do, let's just do 2017 through 2021. And then we can go up here and hit search. Okay, so then you have 10 results here. So that's a manageable selection of results. That's really good, actually, what you're looking for. You don't want too few and you don't want too many. If you get too many, you might have to narrow down your search a little bit more by adding another keyword. Okay, so that's one way to research information. Does anybody have any questions about using this kind of database? Looks like there's one thing in the chat box. No, okay. All right, so then again, if you don't have this written down, that's Business Source Complete. So you want to make sure you write that down. Okay, the next one, oh, this one's kind of fun. Let me see. The Business Scale One File. Definitely write this down. There's a feature on here that I have not found on any of the other databases. That's a great way to look for information. So I want to show you that one real quick. Okay, so again, it looks a lot like that Entrepreneurship database I took you to because it's by the same publisher, Gale. So you can see they have the same kind of ways to search. You've got your search box here. You can go over here and click on these tiles. But the thing I like about this is the topic finder, which you'll see on a lot of the Gale databases. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And what's going to happen is I'm going to enter a keyword here. And it's going to show up down here in a lot of different tiles with more specific, more narrow topics that you can click on and then connect you to articles within those topics. So let's say we're researching leadership still. All right, so you can see it's kind of like some tiles here. The bigger tiles mean that there are more sources within that topic. The smaller tiles mean there aren't as many sources within that topic. And if you don't like the way this looks, they also offer the wheel. So you can look at this information that way as well. I personally like the tiles, but that's just a preference. So now what you can do is you can start to narrow down your topic. So I don't want to look at just leadership. I want to look at leadership skills. So we're going to click on that one. And you can see now we've got some articles popping up over here. We have about 31 articles. Now we can either start to go through those or we can narrow this down a little bit more. So I'm just going to click on effective leadership. And now you can see I have 2 articles. And then if I decide that's too narrow, or maybe I want to go explore another topic, all I have to do is hit this reset button here, and then I can go back to the beginning under leadership. So I really like to just point this out because some people are very visual, and this is just another way to search for information that's a little bit different than using the search bar. So this can be helpful to some people. I really like it. I have typed in keywords into the search box for hours on a topic and just have found nothing. And then I'll go and I'll type it in here and instantly find something. Sometimes it's the other way around. So it's really good just to know what tools are out there and maybe check all of them when you're looking for information. Okay, so those were the main ones that I wanted to show you. We do have some other really great databases in here. I probably should show you this last one, Business Insights. This is really good if you are researching an industry or a company. So let me open this one up. Again, that's Business Insights. So right here, right away, we can either type a company name or we can type an industry. The industry, you can type a keyword, but it really works best if you have the NAICS code for your industry, which you can pull up just in Google. You can type in NAICS code food truck and then put the NAICS code here. I'm going to try food truck and see if that even works. Typically what happens is I'll put in something a little too narrow and that's not its own category. It's filed under something else. So then I just have to kind of pick something else. So you can see here, food truck doesn't really bring up what I'm looking for. It focuses on those other truck things. If I scroll down here though, we do have all other miscellaneous food manufacturing. So I'm going to click on that just to show you what an industry profile looks like. So depending on the industry, you'll get different information on this page. You'll always get some key information here, some top companies, but the information over here on the left might change a little because they might have more information for a particular industry than another one. But I do want to point out they have market share reports here, and you can get academic journals here as well on that industry. The other thing I like to look at are these industry overviews. So we're just going to click on this plant-based meatless meat since that's really popular right now. Not my particular favorite, but very popular. So here we go. We've got an industry report. And what they're going to give you is a little snapshot. They're going to talk a little bit about the organization and structure of that industry, the background. They're going to get into pioneers in the field, current conditions, and then they'll even refer you to some other articles that you can search in the databases. So this is really good if you're researching an industry. Let's go back here. The other thing I want to point out is you'll see these little icons for graphs all over the place. And if you click on those, what it's going to do is bring you to this comparison chart. And these are really great if you're doing a presentation, or maybe you need to include a graphic in a report that you're turning in. And what's also good about them is they're customizable. So you have the add remove button over here, and you can remove companies and you can add your own.